Hello guys and welcome to this video. In this video I will give you some tips on how you can hold a site on Inferno. Let's get right into it. So let's begin with the positions where you can stand for holding a site. There are some positions that are very useful and there are some positions that is well known. One of the positions that you can stand on a site defensive is pit. Just keep in mind that it's commonplace to be, and all teams might be mulling you out. Another place you can stand near pit is at the corner over here below balcony. This position is only useful if the T's are coming from arch, but it might not be that common that people will go from arch to A side. They might prefer to go arch to B instead. Another place when we are already at the back of A side could be near graveyard. You can stand at the stairs just crouching down and the T's might not see you. You can then just quickly pop your head off and get some kills near a short, or you can hold up from apartments. I would say this position is best if you're holding off apartments or short. You can also hold out arch from this position, but you need a mate that can hold you from apartments and short if you're peeking arches, as you are an easy target, especially from apartments. Some other areas that you can stand is at the corners of the site. In the corner of the site you can just hold out if they come short, and you can get some easy picks before they get really close onto site. You can also hold it near the boxes here and get some easy picks if they are pushing on from short. From this position you can also hold apartments, but just standing at the corner of the box. And if you can hear they are coming short, you can just quickly peek and get a kill. You can also decide to just pop a flash and then just peek them. The flash might help you. You can also decide to just throw it at the corner and it will bounce off and flash. Also decide to throw it right at the corner and the flash will bounce more behind you, so you can throw the flash to the wall, it will bounce and you can just peek. This way you won't get killed when you're trying to flash from the left side of the boxes, so you can just, if you're standing here, just peek out, throw the flash will pop and you can just easily get anyone that's short. This flash will only get the ones that are looking already onto graveyard or onto the site, but it's a very useful flash as the enemies will not see it coming, as it's popping just down at the corner. If you run a little bit, the flash will pop more behind you, and this flash will get more enemies that are just at the beginning of a short, and this flash will just pop right over here. The enemies might not be coming and they will be totally blinded, and you can then peek. These are only useful if you have already decided that you will let the T's get mid control, so you'll just get down to a side. If you're doing this, just be careful, let your mates know that you do not have them, if they will maybe come from mid to B, unless you have of course a mate that will be standing at arch. I will always recommend that you are holding 2 onto mid and 1 in apartments on A, so you will have the crossfires, 1 from arches, 1 from short, and you'll just hold the corners. Right here you'll just need to throw a smoke. The smoke will pop, block off anything at mid, so you have to control. You can also smoke it a little bit deeper, but this is very useful so that you just won't run out and try to get you. When you pop the smoke close to the corner of the building, you do not have boiler rooms. Your mate from short will need to have boiler room. If you throw the smoke further inwards, you can still hold boiler room without any compromises, and the smoke will still smoke out perfectly in mid. Be careful that the T's might be pushing through the smoke because they just don't have any fear. They have pretty large balls, so just be careful. Don't just look around or stand with your nade in the hand ready to cook it and throw it. Always have your gun in your hand. But it's important that on A side that you have the crossfire on mid. Your mate might be standing at the corner under the roof. Just be ready to get them if they're pushing mid. That way you can have them from boiler room if they try to get your mates from short. This way you have a pretty good crossfire, and it's hard for the enemies to come onto the site. If the enemies are still pushing, you can just throw a Molotov and get behind. Just go away. Don't have mid control if they're already pushed and they're already up. You and your mate should then just leave arch and short onto a side. Your mate can maybe go library and see if anybody will push through arches. You can just have the corner. Just be careful that this is commonplace. You can molly it out. You can throw a grenade at the corners, keeping the enemies off from the area. But it is a common place that people will just, when they are peeking the area, that will pre-fire a library. So just keep that in mind. You can also stand at the corner, but just keep in mind, if you're standing at the corner, this is a very common spot, but you can just throw a flash. The flash will bounce off and flash anybody, but just keep in mind that this is a very common spot. But sometimes you are forced to do this, forced to go over in the corner. If you're forced to go into the corner, don't be looking like this, but more be going down over to the corner over here and hold the angle, so if they try to get you, you can just get an easy headshot. And don't always have your crosshair right in the edge of the corners. Have them a little further away from it, that way you will get a easier headshot if they try to push you. For short, you can either decide to hold it from boiler room. If you decide to hold it from boiler room, you will have a mate that will need to hold up at apartments, and will need to hold it very aggressively, and will need to hear if anybody will jump up, as you are an easy target for the ones who will jump up from balcony. But if you're holding short, you can hold it close from boiler room, get anybody that will try to peek. They might not expect you standing here. Tees might probably have their crosshairs over here, but if you're standing right there, they will need to adapt their aim, and you will probably get an advantage over your enemies. You can also hold it from the corners, but be careful, as they might pre-fire you from here. This might be a better position if you don't have a mate that is holding apartments very well, or can't hold apartments from balcony. But it is most important that the two on mid are holding crossfires and helping each other out, so it's pretty important with some great teamworks. From here you just need, again, you can smoke out mid, and the smoke will keep any T's from pushing up onto mid. It will probably keep them away from doing it. You never know. Some might just push throughout this through the smoke and might get you if you're not prepared for it. So now one of the positions that is most important, I think, on A side, the one from apartment, as this one is really sometimes the place where people can get control out of A if they already have apartments. You can either decide to hold it very defensive. You can either decide to hold apartments very defensively. You can either decide to hold the apartments very defensively, or you can hold it very aggressively. If you decide to hold it defensively, let your mates on short and arch know that you do not have the boiler room, but you just have stairs and apartments if they try to come out balcony. From this position, you can just stand in the corner over here, and you can have a pre-fired angle if they might push. Keep in mind that they will probably know that you'll be standing here, and they will already have their aim on your position. You can also choose to stand in the other corner. This might throw them off, but you have the potential from two angles where the enemies might come. So just keep in mind that that is a risky play to perform. You can also push apartments further down, hold a bit more aggressively. From this side, you will need to check both angles. I like to go to the right side of the door angle and just check down at the stairs, see if there's coming anybody. If they're coming, just shoot them. Check at the corner, and then also check from the balcony boots on apartments. If the T's are very aggressively on apartments, you can just take your nade, cook it, and throw it. This grenade will just burst at the end of the stairs. So if there's a T standing over here and holding the angles, he will get a grenade to the face and get a lot of damage. But he will be able to see the grenade coming. You can also throw a flash down at the stairs. The flash will pop off, and you will get an advantage on peeking him. Just stand in the corner and look at the middle of the wall. You can also do that with a grenade, if you want a grenade to hit just around the corner. But if you're playing aggressively in apartments, you can use these nades. It will give you some seconds of delay if you're using them, but you will flash your enemies if they are at the corner of the stairs. If you're aggressively, you can just peek them, and maybe you can go down the stairs and pre-fire. Just pre-fire it, as there might be one going from T apartments or one going from second mid onto. If you're just pre-firing it just around the corner of the door, you should be able to get at least one of them. If you know they're coming from apartments, your mate from short can also go and help you, so he can hold the balcony angle and you can hold the stairs angle. You can also be very fast and just push to second mid and maybe get them when they're in T spawn. But this, you need to have the right spawn, and you need to just run as fast as you can. Go from boiler and just go in and be ready to get some. Don't go all the way to the window, just be a little bit behind, stand in the corner of the doors or the end of the door, and you can get them if they're going from T second mid to apartments. Remember to use all your utilities, they can keep the enemies off, but don't use them at the beginning of the round unless they are rushing a position, then don't use it. So this was actually some of the tips that I have for a site where you can hold off the enemies and how you can peek them and how you should hold off mid and apartments. If you liked the video, please give me a like and leave a comment what you liked about it. If you didn't like it, give me a dislike and let me know what you didn't like about the video. I hope I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.